Resting on her knees, Claire breathed heavily. "We survived," she sighed in relief. "How in the world did we make it out of that?" Hannah sat on the path as she leaned her head back. Sweat was pouring down her face with the amount of effort that was put into surviving the encounter. Slowly, Claire gained her breath and stood up. Placing her hands on her hips, she leaned back and stretched. "Never again," she complained to no one in particular. Abby laughed. "At least we got some valuable experience. Just from that encounter, I jumped up to level 5. A grin was plastered across her face from the joyful results. Listening to her sister talking about levels, Claire pulled up her own stats on her bracelet. Level 11? She stared at the number, wondering if it was correct. How in the world did we go up 3 levels? Her thoughts raced as she remembered to keep her expression calm to not let Abby notice. "What are you at now?" Abby asked. "Level 6. I guess I'm still ahead of you." Claire giggled, hoping that her sister wouldn't notice her lie. Her eyes flashed towards Hannah. Sensing Claire looking at her, Hannah looked at her bracelet and said, "Mine is 6 too. I wonder how long it'll be until we reach level 10. She looked up and grinned at both Claire and Abby. Tilting her head to the side to crack it, Abby said, "If we keep on running into the same number of monsters, I think it might not be too long. Even though this is simulated, my body feels like I just went through training all over again." Claire nodded in agreement with Abby's words, though only on the part about how quickly they level, since she'd already passed level 10. In her mind, she was wondering how strong they were now after leveling to 11. The problem was how it was hard to judge her strength by just moving her body. Her eyes looked at the monsters, and she wondered if she'd be able to get a better idea once they moved the bodies into the cart. When Hannah stood up, Claire suggested, "How about we get those bodies onto the cart? We don't want to stick around for too long since we still need to get back before it turns dark." Nodding, Abby and Hannah began moving to the 3 monsters they had killed. Quickly checking up on the others, she noticed that the new adventurers were all laying on their backs. Judging by their behavior, surviving the attack had taken a lot out of them. The more monsters they fight against, the faster they'll be able to handle such intense battles. Claire thought to herself as she related to their experience back when she first started off. She giggled at her thinking related to the newbie adventurers. Abby gently shouldered Claire. "What are you giggling about?" Pointing her chin at the new adventurers, "I just thought how they'd get used to fighting strong monsters like how we did. But then remembered it hadn't been that long since we started." Involuntarily laughing, Hannah quickly covered her mouth. "That sounds like something an old man would say." Controlling her emotions, she said, "Though I do admit that in this short time we've been through a lot. I feel like we'd have responded differently to the rock lizards if it wasn't for our previous experience against the armored bear that we faced with Chelsea and the others." "That's for sure. Having to go up against such a monster, despite our level not being high enough, helped us handle stress better." She again looked at the new adventurers before saying, "We'd probably have frozen in fear as they did, surrounded by so many mature monsters." Thinking how they'd been quickly surrounded up against significantly stronger enemies, if they'd stood still and not moved away from the cart, we definitely would have been eaten, Claire thought to herself, not appreciating the frightening image. Reaching one of the 3 monsters, Abby moved to one side, while Claire and Hannah went to the other. "I guess we'll see how much we've grown by lifting this," Abby said.